How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. I'm KingBlackToof, and I'm going to be going through some of the cards that we saw recently, but we don't know quite know what they do yet because we've only saw the images. I'd like to do some speculation. I might reference back to this video and see how many I got possibly right, because I think that'd be. I'll only do that if I get any right, actually. So let's have a look at some of the cards, and I'll speculate, and you can do so as well. You know, if you've got any cool ideas, let me know. But let's have a look at some of them, shall we? So the first one is the Mahakam Ale. Now, this is a neutral bronze card. Now, we know what it did in the campaign. We're not sure if it's going to be the same. Very unlikely. So what I've heard several things about this. There's a lot of stuff you can do with beer. It's actually an alchemy card. I don't know how Vesemir pulled it off, but beer is now classed as alchemy. Whatever you say, Vesemir. But this means that this card, I think it'll be buff worthy. I don't think you can go down with beer. Beer has always been a good thing, right? So I've heard quite a few ideas. Like the one that I liked a lot of was it spawns a unit and that'll bounce around buffing units, kind of like a bronze Odrin. Now, there are some issues with that. I don't think we've got any special cards that really spawn units by themselves. You've kind of got like Stammelfords, which kind of does it. And we do have Rally, which is a bit different. So I think that's an issue. It's more likely to just buff things. And to be honest, I think the most likely option here is a reverse Crow's Eye that you saw in the previous video. So this was the Crow's Eye card, which did 4 damage to the highest enemy unit on each row, melee, range, and siege, and increase the damage dealt by 1 for each copy of this in the graveyard when it's played. So if you reverse that and put it onto this card, I think it thematically works well. Beer, the more you have, the better you feel. Maybe, not always. In fantasy, it's the way, isn't it? But yeah, effectively it could buff or boost the highest allies by 4. So on the melee, range, and siege, so that's 12. And the more copies you've got in the graveyard, increase its buffing by 1, you know, for a maximum of 10. So the opposite of Crow's Eye could work really well with this card. And I think that's probably the most likely. But we do have to consider another card as well, which is this particular card here. We saw this in the Mahakam Ale Festival as well. Now, this is a gold neutral card, 4 strength. So this would indicate that this is a unit and it will go onto the board. Okay, so this in the Ale Festival, it like buffed the entire row. So although a lot of people have been making jokes about positive weather, I've come to the conclusion that the only way to accurately do positive weather is by putting it on a unit which stays on the board that can be removed. You can't do positive weather because then the opponent can't clear sky it away, because it only affects their side of the board unless you allow them to choose which side of the board to clear, and then it becomes messy. So I think this could be a row buff, and it keeps buffing that row every turn. Now, as a 4 strength gold, it's very bad. You know, it's not going to last long at all. It could have a death wish on there as well. I think that's probably the most likely thing this will be. It's a form of positive weather that buffs the row or maybe the board on your side until it is removed. Maybe Squirtle could buff it in their hand, or maybe you could protect it with a Quen or something and then start buffing it on the board to make it stay. Because, you know, they're going to focus this as soon as you put it down, if that's what it does. Remember, this is all speculation, but I think this is probably the most likely. And I'd love to see if I'm right with this one. So the next card we've got is the 8 strength silver Nilfgaard card, the Heavy Fire Scorpion. So this is probably boring, because I think everyone knows what this one would do. The Fire Scorpion is the Nilfgaard card, which when you reveal it, does 4 damage to a unit. And when you play it, it does 4 damage to a unit. So this is basically a silver version of that. 8 strength instead of 6. When you reveal it, it does X damage. When you deploy it, it does X damage. It does have 4 bolts on there. I don't know how important they are. Maybe it'll split its damage up a little bit. You know, do 2, 2, 2, 2 or something. But yeah, we can pretty much expect this to be, reveal it in your hand, it does damage. Deploy it, it does damage. So the next card we've got is Vil Actor Sage. This is a golden neutral card, 2 strength and agile. So a lot of neutral cards coming through in this particular patch. I think we've seen 1 bronze card for each faction nearly recently. A couple of silvers too. Maybe 1 bronze, 1 silver for each faction. But we're going to take clues for this card from the other cards which are gold and this lower strength. Things like Gels, Dijkstra and Ithleen. They all play another card, and then some of them play some more or improve your draws. So they all play a card and do something else. So I reckon this guy is going to play another card, and then maybe either draw cards, improve your draw, or something, you know. So he's going to play another card and then do something else. Because Gels, you get to choose between a gold and a silver. You play one and improve your draw. Ithleen plays 2 cards effectively, and Dijkstra plays 2 cards effectively. So we can expect this to play a card and do something else. Maybe we could take some clues from Avalak. So we can probably expect this to play a card and then maybe draw some cards for each players as well. So it's a bit of both between, you know, between these Gels type people and Avalak, because he is Avalak. But we don't know. So the next card is a Northern Realms card, Ronvid of the Small Marsh. 10 strength, silver card for Northern Realms. I mean, everyone's going to probably expect him to come back repeatedly, very much like Morkvarg and Olgierd. And that would be it would be kind of weird, but it would be interesting because the Northern Realms player has it. But that's basically what everyone expects him to do, because he keeps coming back in the game, getting worse and worse and worse. So, you know, 10 strength is quite high. But how will he generate his other value? He does have some armed guards, well, armed people next to him. So maybe he just spawns other units, but hopefully not, because that's a bit boring. We have already saw the peasant leader in the other video as well. I guess we do have to question, if he does work like Morkvarg, what would be the purpose? Morkvarg does a lot more than just coming back. He gives you access to things like Blood-Curdling Roar from Gremist. He enables Ceres as well. You know, you can activate Morkvarg very easily via King Bran or something. So Morkvarg is not just on his own. He has a bit of synergy around him. But if this guy just come back like Olgierd, you don't see Olgierd played in very much in Northern Realms. So you probably wouldn't see this guy. So hopefully just something that I'm not really catching on to here, that he doesn't just keep coming back, getting weaker by half. The next we've got the Haymay Battle Cleric. And this is a 2 strength bronze for Skellige. Now, because it's 2 strength, I'm starting to think maybe it'll be another tutor card that allows you to pull other Skelligans out. You know, Skellige hasn't got any navigators or Reaver scouts yet. They've got a couple of things like the Drummond Shield Maidens, which kind of pulled themselves out. But at 2 strength, it's very weak. So normally this is around the strength of tutor cards like that. So maybe it'll be that kind of card. If it's Haymay, we haven't really got many Haymay classes, so it's not going to have much synergy, apart from the Skald guy, but no one uses that guy. So I reckon it'll probably be a tutor card at this particular strength, but we'll see. Right, this Nilfgaard one strength bronze card. I have no real idea what this card can do. There was a card previously in the PTR, the Magna Division, which was 1 strength, and that allowed you to draw a card. Draw your opponent a card and you would draw a card. 1 strength is awfully low, so again it looks very similar to Magna Division in the fact that it will draw other things, so it's definitely got to do something revolving mill or something about drawing cards. It could be a tutor again, but I think you've got enough of those with emissaries. That seems a bit weird. It does seem in the mill archetype. A lot of these Magna Divisions are all about sand and oasis and all that kind of business. So that's where I'm going to go. But really, this is probably the one that I'm most stumped on. I don't really quite know what this is going to do. And our final card is this Skellige card here, which I believe is Gwendoline Flamenca or something. An 8 strength bronze card for Skellige Agile. Now, I think this card is in the right strength range to be an engine card, and I'd really like that a lot. Got a bear on the screen, so I'm hoping it's something to do with Cursed. Now, we haven't really got an engine card for Cursed units, and Cursed units could really benefit from having an engine card which boosts itself every time a Cursed unit appears. So I think that is probably the best area for this. And if that's the case, I really do rate this quite highly in that particular archetype, because it needs some help. And again, everything just sort of works out well, that I really hope it is that card. Gets increased in strength every time a Cursed unit appears, or strengthens every time a Cursed unit appears. Might be too strong. Yeah, so I really hope that's what that is. So what do you think about all those cards that we've talked about? Hopefully you've got some good ideas. And I hope I'm right on some of them. If I am right, I'll come back to the video and gloat. If I'm not, then I'll pretend I didn't do this video. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.